Okay, I'm going to show you how to make keychain display cards. They're very simple to make. You just use cardstock. If you want to print something on them, you can use your printer to print an item on, like your logo or a piece of clip art, add your website information or a special note. So first thing we're going to do, let's bring in the 3 different styles here. These are all included with the download, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to shrink them down so we can move them over to the side here. Okay, and I am going to be working with just a few of them here. And I'm going to ungroup this, and the first one I'm going to do, ungroup this as well. I'm going to bring this one up here, and we can do ungroup this one. Ungroup that. And I'm actually going to move this one. Okay. And then the rest of these I'm just going to go ahead and delete because I'm not going to be working with those today. And then from this section, let's go ahead and ungroup this one. And we'll take this one here. And let's see, let's go ahead and grab one of these here. Let's do that one instead. Okay, and we'll delete that. I'm actually going to do this one twice. Let me duplicate this. Okay, so a couple different things that you can do with these. You can either just cut them out of colored cardstock, and you could purchase like a thank you sticker to put on them. You could print out your own stickers and put them on them. With the print and cut with Cricut, you have to print on white paper. So if you're going to add color to these, you could make this a printable image, and this is the color that your card would print. If you wanted to have them out of a certain color cardstock, you would need to cut them as a basic cut and then like add a sticker to it if you want to. And I will explain that more as we go. But with Cricut Design Space, you have to print onto white paper. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to actually go ahead and do this one here. I'm going to do a few printables first, and then we'll just go ahead and do just to print from cardstock. But these ones right here, I'm actually going to add things to them. Okay, so let's bring these over here. This, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and let's zoom in on this. Okay, so for this first one here, I am going to make this, come up here and unlock this, and I want this to be, I'm going to have this one be 4 inches wide by 6 inches high. Okay, and then I'm going to lock that and move that to the side. This one I want to be 4 inches high, and we're going to do 275. I did a couple test cuts earlier. What I like to do is, depending on what your keychain size is, I'm working with round keychains, so it's easy for me just to bring a circle in, but if you have a different size, obviously you would want to measure your keychain first. But I like to take my, just a shape here so I can see that my display card is going to fit. And then I also take into account that if I'm going to put it into a bag, I have some resealable bags, which I will show you those as well. But I need to take account for what size my cardstock is. So for this one here, I would be putting the 3-inch keychain on there. And you can make them smaller if you want to. You can actually make them larger. So if you wanted to put a little message on here, you could actually use it as a card. Like if you wanted to use it for a birthday card, write a little personal message on the back. And this one here, I'm actually going to make smaller. I want this one to be 2 inches high. Oops. Okay. All right, so we're going to work with these 3 first. Go ahead and move those over again. And move these so you can see. Get this out of the way. So this one right here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, actually I'll leave it the color that it is so you can see it, but I'm actually going to change all 3 of these to white. So this one I'm going to bring in a piece of clip art, which I already have it uploaded here, but I want to go ahead and do it so you can see how to do it. So we're going to hit browse, and I have already actually gone into my folder. I know what I'm going to do, but on my folders over here, I have lots, don't judge. Whenever I download something, I like to put the name of the product that I'm downloading. So this one is called Watercolor Flowers. I got it on Creative Fabrica. I will go ahead and link that for you, but I'd like to link it or put the name of it so that I remember where I got it from. So I'm going to do compositions. This is actually in the folder that I downloaded, and you can pick from lots of different things here. I think I'm going to do, this is the one I think I already downloaded, so let's go ahead and try this one. I always pick complex. It's a habit. If you wanted to erase anything, you would do that here, but I like the way that it is. Apply and continue. Print then cut image. Upload. Okay, and then this is the image, and I'm also going to bring my logo in so we can work with that also. Okay, we're going to add that to our canvas, and I'm going to go ahead and shrink these down a little. That over. Let me just go ahead and type in 3 here to get it smaller. All right, let me change this to white. This I'm going to put right down here, and on this one I'm going to type out happy birthday. Maybe. There we go. We have 2 boxes. Okay, and I'm going to change this. I'm going to go to my Systems Fonts, and I want to use Alexia. This one right here. I also have this, I'm going to bookmark it, so next time I want to use it, it's in my bookmarks. I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down, and I'm going to change the color of this. I'm actually going to do like this coral color maybe, just to kind of match what we got going on here. And then I want to center a line, center horizontally. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab all this, and I'm going to flatten this. Now that image is done and ready to go. So now I'm going to move on to my next one, which I'm going to do this one here. So move this up here. Oh, apparently we got lots of different text boxes on here. Get rid of that. Okay. For this one, I'm going to write thank you. And for this font, I'm going to use, it's in my bookmarks already, Pamela Script is what I'm looking for, this one right here. Okay, and again, I'm going to shrink this down. Before I do that, I want to show you another thing that you can use this for. Creative Fabrica shares digital papers all the time, or actually a lot of different websites have digital papers. And one of the things that you can do, I already have one that I have uploaded here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's do this one, add to canvas, view. Okay, so I'm going to shrink this down. So another thing that you can do, this would make this a printable image. Go ahead and just lock that and bring this down here so I can make it smaller. And send this to the back. You can highlight both of these and then slice this out. So now when you go to make this, this color will print on this paper because, like I said, it has to be white paper, but this color will print on here. So this is one way that you can get a colored display card, is to use one of your digital papers. So that's going to stay on there. I'm going to change this color. Let's change this to like a burgundy. There, I like that better. Okay, I'll set this on here. go ahead and center this, align. Okay, and then we can flatten that one. Okay, now that one's done. Okay, so now we're going to work on this one here. Okay. For this, this one is actually also going to be white, and I'm going to put my logo on this. So this is one of those cards that you would fold over, then you would use this like to hang on a display. So I'm going to put this up here. Let's come in closer here so we can see a little better. Okay, and I'm going to type out I'm going to make this smaller real quick here. And I'm changing the font. For this font, I'm going to use Funny Pirates. Okay, so I'm going to do make it smaller again. Since this is going to be a printable image, it can be smaller. You don't have to worry about cutting out the vinyl. Okay. And then I'm going to duplicate this and then put my website on there. And then again, I'm going to change the color on these. I like change them to my brand color so everything matches a little better. Okay, so we can align these. And then I can bring this and add a period to this, that's going to bother me. Okay, and then bring this in. I'm actually going to move this up a little so we got more room. Okay, and then we'll highlight that and we will flatten that. And I'll bring this back again. So we have these three. And I'm going to bring in a shape to represent the print then cut size limits that we are allowed to do here. So we got 9.25. by 6.75. Okay, I'm going to send that to the back. And then I'm going to get all my images lined up here so that I can print them all on one piece of paper. Okay, and then I can delete that. I'm going to go ahead and highlight all these and I'm going to attach them. Hide that. Let's get rid of all our extra little pieces on here so they don't print. I'm going to group this. And I'm going to hide it. Okay, then when we go to make it, this is a print and cut area. So what this is going to do is I'm going to send this to my printer. Okay, I have my paper size selected. I'm going to hit continue. You want to make sure that you have your machine selected, whatever you're going to be making or using. I'm going to be using my Cricut Explorer 2. I have my dial set to Light Cardstock Plus, and then I'm going to send this to the printer. For this, I'm going to leave my bleed on, and the reason that I'm leaving my bleed on is I'll show you in one of the other ones that I printed that I did not leave my bleed on, and you can see because this is white paper, you can see the white paper behind this. So I'm going to leave my bleed on for this. Make sure that my correct printer is selected. I want to turn my system dialog on, and then I'm going to hit print. This box up here is going to pop up. Again, you want to make sure that you have the right printer selected. And I'm going to come over here to preferences. I'm going to be printing on matte paper. Everything else you can leave the same. Then you're going to hit OK, and you're going to go ahead and print it. And then I'll show you how to cut them out. Okay, so here's our image. Just took it out of the printer. And go ahead and move this back a little bit so you can see a little better. Go ahead and line this up on our mat. You can use a blue mat if you like. It's suited for paper. This mat isn't very sticky, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this one. I don't have to worry about the paper sticking to it, but I am going to use a brayer to make sure that your cardstock sticks to your mat. You want to wait for this to dry just a little bit before you put your brayer on it so you don't have any chance of it smearing. Okay, I'll pull this out again. You can see that I have my machine set to Light Cardstock Plus. Go ahead and load this. And I'm going to turn off my above light, so it's going to get dark here for a second. Sometimes, I apologize for the wobble, sometimes it's hard for the Cricut to read the registration marks if the light is too bright above. So if you ever have a problem with it not reading your registration marks, turn your light off because that can help. So go ahead and click the little button here and let it cut. Okay, I'm going to turn my light back on here. Again, I apologize for the wobble. Unload my mat. And then I'm going to turn this over to get my cards to come off. So that way nothing curls. And then you can take your little scraper here and get your other little bits off and throw that away. There's the first set of cards. All right, and now we're going to go over and make the other ones. Okay, let's work on the ones that we're going to cut out of cardstock. So let's go ahead and ungroup this. This is just going to be colored cardstock. I'm just going to go ahead and use like a tan color that I have. But I want to resize these first. So this one, let's go ahead and make this one 3.5. This one we'll do 3.5 wide. And then I'm just going to go ahead and, again, because this is going to be on cardstock, we're not going to print this out because it has to be white if we're going to print it out. But I'm going to go ahead and get these all together, and then I'm going to attach them so they cut on one sheet. And then we go to make it. And this is going to ask you what size. Now this is a 12 by 12 mat, so you want to make sure that your material size is going to fit this. If your cardstock is smaller, you're going to want to arrange these in a different order. But I have a piece of cardstock that is 12 by 12, so this will fit just good. So let's go ahead and get this cut, and then I'll show you what these look like when they're finished. Okay, here's my cardstock. And again, I'm going to go ahead and line this up on my mat. And I'm going to use my brayer because I want to make sure that it's going to stick to my mat well. I'm just using the cardstock that I had on hand. I believe it's 65 pound, but any of the heavier cardstocks will work. You want to make sure that it's going to be something that's going to be able to withstand the weight of the keychain. Okay. Okay, we're going to unload our mat. Again, I'm going to flip it over so that my cardstock does not curl. And I'm pulling the cardstock off of the mat. Okay, and again, you can use your scraper to get your little bits off. Okay, and then those are our cardstock. And I will show you how to put your keychains on there. Okay, here's all our keychain cards that we made. All our display cards. These are the ones that were just the regular cardstock. And then we have the ones that were print and cut. Now, like I was saying about leaving the bleed on, I will show you one that I did earlier. You can see what I mean here. Hopefully you can see this. Because there's white on the back and I did not leave the bleed on, you can see that there's white showing on here. Now, it's not really a big deal, but it bothered me, so you want to make sure that you leave your bleed on so that that does not show. Okay, so a couple different ways that you can put your keychains on your cards. For these right here, if you're going to do like a little hangy tag, you would want to take your keychain and you want to bend this to stick inside here, and then you want to close this. You can either use like adhesive tape to put inside of here. You could use glue if you like. If you have little foam dots that you want to put in there, you could use a stapler. Personal preference, however you want to do that one. I personally like to use a little dot of glue. Then you have to wait for it to dry. You don't want to do too much because you don't want it to leak out. You can just go ahead and hold that for a second to let it dry. And you have your first one done. And then after these dry completely, I'll show you the little bags that I use as well. Okay, so there's one. This one here, usually when people do their keychains, I'm going to put something on here so that it makes sure that it dries here. Let's lay that on there. When I've seen keychains before, I've seen that people like to use the little slice method here and put it on there. Then that's for their keychain. This one here, if I were going to use this one, I would go ahead and put a piece of tape so that it would stay. But this kind right here, this is the kind that I like, and I will show you why. I like to take my keychain, and instead of letting it hang down like this, I like to fold it over and put it in the back. Then I could put a little piece of tape on the back. You can use washi tape, you can use painter's tape, whatever you like. And I just like to cut off a little piece and put it in the back so that it stays. Okay. And I also like to put a piece in the front. Just make like a little donut and put it underneath. And then for one like this, because this is a printed, or this is just a piece of cardstock, if you wanted to take a little thank you note, thank you sticker, you could put it there. You could print out your own stickers. If you have like a logo that you have your own sticker, you could do that. So like this one, we already printed our logo on this one. You could put a thank you note on the back. This one, if you wanted to use it like as an actual birthday card, you could write something on the back. Bring this in here. Okay, and again, I like to tape mine down. I don't like them to be shifting all over the place. But that's up to you, however you like to do yours. But I don't like mine to shift. I want mine to stay still. And then you can put it in a little bag here. So let me find a bag for this one. These are self-sealing resealable bags. I bought these quite a while ago, so this brand, when I looked on Amazon, it says that it is sold out, but I did find ones that are similar. You just have to watch your sizes, whichever one that you're going to use. So this one here would fit here. This just has a little bag that you stick it in here. Put that in there, and then you would take the sealer off the back, put it down, and there's your finished keychain. Now if you were going to hang this one, obviously you don't want to put that in a bag. But there's lots of different options with these. I'll show you some of my other examples that I have here. Like these are some of the ones that I made in the past that I used to use. like I said, I like to tape mine down in the back. And then I also put a little piece of tape on the charms sometimes so those don't shift around. This one has tape on it, and then I also have my care instructions that I printed on here. And then you would just get yourself a bag to put it in. You can ship them this way, or if you're going to put them in a store, you just fold that down. And then there's a finished keychain. And then same with this, you would just put that in a bag. But just wanted to show you some of the different options. Like I said, this is taped down. But that's it, guys. It's so easy. Lots of different options with these. You can use any kind of colored stock that you want. You can personalize them. This was with a different digital paper. This was just using the color from Design Space. But yeah, you can do lots of different things. Like you can see with mine, I used a pattern print here, and then I think this is going to rip if I pull this off, but I just want to show you. This is the care instructions. You can type something out like this, put your information at the bottom. Remember, these are going to be white on the back. So unless you're going to use regular cardstock, you're going to have white on the back. But I hope that helps you guys. I hope you guys like them. If you have any questions, you know, feel free to contact me. Drop them in the comments below if you like, or reach out to me on Facebook. I'm always willing to help if you guys have questions. Have a great day, guys. I appreciate you.